Welcome to Anime Vault. Today, we're diving deep into the action-packed, emotional, and inspiring journey of My Hero Academia Season 1. This season introduces us to a world where superpowers, known as quirks, define society, where pro-heroes protect the innocent, and where a quirkless boy named Izuku Midoriya refuses to give up on his dream of becoming the greatest hero of all time. With intense battles, heartwarming moments, and a story of perseverance that will leave you on the edge of your seat, this season sets the foundation for one of the most beloved anime series of all time. So let's break down everything that happened in My Hero Academia Season 1, from the rise of a quirkless underdog to the beginning of his heroic journey. A world of heroes and quirks. In this world, 80% of people are born with superpowers called quirks. These abilities range from simple enhancements like super strength to bizarre and powerful mutations, making heroism a professional career. Society revolves around heroes, symbols of hope who protect civilians from villains who use their quirks for evil. But what happens to the 20% who are born without a quirk? Enter Izuku Midoriya, a young boy with an unshakable dream to become the greatest hero, just like his idol, All Might. Ever since he was a child, Midoriya has studied heroes, memorized their powers, and dreamed of the day he could save people with a smile on his face. But fate wasn't on his side. At 4 years old, he learns the heartbreaking truth. He was born quirkless. His classmates mock him. His childhood friend turned bully, Katsuki Bakugo, constantly puts him down. Even society itself tells him that a quirkless boy has no chance of becoming a hero. Yet, Midoriya refuses to give up. And that's when fate steps in. The life-changing encounter, meeting All Might. One day, while walking home from school, Midoriya is suddenly attacked by a sludge villain, a monstrous being that tries to take over his body. With no quirk to defend himself, he's moments away from death when suddenly, boom! With a single, earth-shaking punch, the symbol of peace himself, All Might, arrives. The villain is defeated in an instant, and for Midoriya, this is a dream come true. But this is his one chance, so he gathers all his courage and asks the question that's haunted him his entire life. Can someone quirkless like me still become a hero? At first, All Might hesitates. Then, with a sorrowful smile, he delivers a crushing truth. No, without a quirk, you can't be a hero. For Midoriya, this moment shatters everything. Even his greatest idol has confirmed what the world has always told him. He can never be a hero. But just when all hope seems lost, something incredible happens. The defining moment, a true hero spirit. As Midoriya walks home, he sees a horrifying sight. The sludge villain has returned, this time attacking Bakugo. The pro-heroes at the scene hesitate, unable to act, and that's when Midoriya moves. Without thinking, without a plan, he charges in. Even though he has no quirk, no special ability, he throws himself into danger because that's what a true hero does. This reckless act of bravery stuns All Might because this is what a real hero looks like. Fueled by Midoriya's courage, All Might unleashes his full power, defeating the sludge villain with a devastating Detroit smash. And later that night, he tells Midoriya something that will change his life forever. You can be a hero. Not only that, but he reveals his biggest secret. His quirk, One for All, can be passed down. And now, he wants Midoriya to be his successor. Training for One for All, the path to UA High. But there's a catch. Midoriya's body isn't ready. If he tries to use One for All's immense power without preparation, his body will be destroyed instantly. So for 10 months, Midoriya undergoes brutal training under All Might's guidance, pushing his limits to prepare for the UA high school entrance exam. Finally, after months of struggle, he succeeds, and on the day of the exam, he ingests a single strand of All Might's hair, officially inheriting One for All. But he's not in the clear yet. The UA entrance exam, a hero's first test. To get into UA High, students must complete a combat test, defeating massive robotic enemies to earn points. Midoriya struggles, unable to control One for All, until he sees a fellow student, Ochako Uraraka, trapped under rubble, facing certain doom. In that moment, his body moves on its own. With one punch, he obliterates a giant robot, but the backlash shatters his entire body, leaving him critically injured. Despite this, his selfless rescue earns him enough points to pass. Midoriya is now a student at UA High School. Life at UA, new allies and rivalries. At UA, Midoriya meets some of his future closest allies and greatest rivals. Katsuki Bakugo, his childhood bully, furious at Midoriya's sudden strength. Ochako Uraraka, a kind-hearted girl with a gravity-based quirk. Tenya Ida, a strict but noble student with incredible speed. Shoto Todoroki, a powerful prodigy with half fire, half ice abilities. Guided by Eraserhead, they undergo their first real training session, where Midoriya faces off against Bakugo in an intense battle. Though outmatched in power, Midoriya outsmarts Bakugo, proving that strategy can be just as powerful as raw strength. But soon, their training takes a deadly turn. The USJ attack enter the League of Villains. During a rescue training exercise, Class 1A is ambushed by the League of Villains, led by Tamura Shigaraki. Their goal? To kill All Might. The students are separated, facing real villains for the first time. Midoriya, Ida, and Todoroki work together to fend off enemies, but then Nomu appears. A bioengineered monster built to match All Might's strength. When all hope seems lost, All Might arrives, and in a battle for the ages, he pushes past his limits, defeating Nomu with a flurry of overwhelming punches. The League retreats, but the battle proves one thing. This is just the beginning. The journey begins. As Season 1 ends, Midoriya realizes that being a hero isn't just about power. It's about facing real danger, making sacrifices, and standing tall against evil. With the League of Villains still out there, his journey is only just beginning. And that's our full recap of My Hero Academia Season 1. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more anime recaps. Until next time, this has been Anime Vault. Welcome to Anime Vault. Today, we're diving deep into the explosive, emotional, and action-packed second season of My Hero Academia. If you thought Season 1 was intense, get ready, because Season 2 takes everything to the next level. More battles, new quirks, deeper rivalries, and a growing villain threat that will shake the foundation of hero society itself. We're talking about the UA Sports Festival, a fierce internship arc, and a climactic battle against the hero killer Stain. So, let's break down everything that happened in My Hero Academia Season 2, from the thrill of competition to the darker side of heroism. The aftermath of the USJ attack, a world on edge. Season 2 picks up right after the terrifying League of Villains attack at the Unforeseen Simulation Joint, USJ. The world is on edge, villains are getting bolder, and UA knows they must push their students harder than ever to prepare them for real-world threats. And what better way to test their skills than the legendary UA Sports Festival? The UA Sports Festival, a battle for the future. The UA Sports Festival is one of the biggest events in hero society, a tournament-style competition where young heroes in training showcase their abilities to the entire world. It's the ultimate proving ground where pro heroes scout for future sidekicks and students fight to show they have what it takes to be the next top hero. And this year, the competition is fiercer than ever. The obstacle race, Midoriya's clever victory. The first event is a massive obstacle race, where students must make their way through a dangerous course filled with traps, giant robots, and a brutal minefield. While powerhouses like Todoroki and Bakugo tear through obstacles with raw strength, Midoriya uses his intelligence to outmaneuver his opponents. His game-changing moment? Using a piece of scrap metal from a robot to launch himself over the minefield and into first place. Midoriya, the quirkless underdog who once had no chance of being a hero, wins the first event. The cavalry battle, the power of strategy. Next up is the cavalry battle, where students form teams and battle to collect the most points. But there's a twist. Midoriya, as the first place winner, has a 10 million point headband, making him the prime target for every other student. Teaming up with Uraraka, Ida, and the mysterious Hatsume, Midoriya uses quick thinking and teamwork to survive until the final seconds. But in a shocking moment, Ida betrays him, using his full power to snatch Midoriya's headband at the last second. Despite losing, Midoriya's quick decisions and leadership secure him a spot in the final round, the one-on-one tournament. The tournament battles. Rivalries explode. Now comes the highlight of the festival, the one-on-one tournament. Each match is a brutal test of skill, strategy, and willpower. Shadow Todoroki versus Hanta Sero. Todoroki instantly freezes the entire stadium, proving his raw power. Midoriya versus Shinso, the power of will. Midoriya faces Hitoshi Shinso, a student with a terrifying mind control quirk. One wrong word, and Midoriya loses all control of his body. But then, for the first time, he sees visions of the past one for all users, a glimpse of the deeper mystery behind his power. With sheer willpower, he breaks free and wins. Midoriya versus Todoroki, the defining moment. Now comes one of the most emotional battles in the series, Midoriya versus Shoto Todoroki. Todoroki, despite his immense power, refuses to use his fire side because of his hatred for his abusive father, Endeavor. But Midoriya, instead of just trying to win, pushes Todoroki to accept his full strength, not for Endeavor, but for himself. In a jaw-dropping moment, Todoroki finally unleashes his flames. But the power clash is too much. Midoriya is blasted out of bounds, losing the match. Even though he lost, Midoriya helped Todoroki take his first step toward healing. Final match, Todoroki versus Bakugo. In the final, Todoroki hesitates to use his flames again, allowing Bakugo to overwhelm him and win the tournament. But Bakugo isn't satisfied. He wanted a real fight, and Todoroki held back. This moment fuels Bakugo's frustration, setting up an even greater rivalry between them. Internships, facing real danger. After the festival, students begin internships with pro heroes, learning what it truly means to be on the front lines. Midoriya is chosen by Gran Torino, All Might's former mentor. But while Midoriya struggles to control one for all, another terrifying force emerges, the hero killer, Stain. The hero killer, Stain, Meyer, a deadly ideology. Stain is no ordinary villain. He's an ideological warrior who believes most pro heroes are fakes, only in it for fame and money. His goal? To purge the world of false heroes. After brutally injuring Ida's brother, Ida seeks revenge. But when he finally confronts Stain, he's completely outmatched. Just when it seems like Ida will be killed, Midoriya and Todoroki arrive. An intense 3-on-1 battle erupts. Midoriya finally begins mastering one for all, landing solid hits on Stain. Todoroki unleashes his full power, fighting for something other than his father's expectations. Together, they defeat Stain, but not before he delivers a chilling message. The only true hero is All Might. The rest of you are fakes. His words shake society, and his twisted ideology begins spreading, inspiring a new wave of villains. The final test. Midoriya versus Bakugo and All Might's warning. As the season closes, the students face their final exams, where they must fight their own teachers. The most intense match? Midoriya and Bakugo versus All Might. Midoriya and Bakugo still despise each other, but to pass the test, they must work together. At first, Bakugo refuses to cooperate, wanting to defeat All Might himself. But All Might is too strong. They're completely outmatched. In a genius moment, Midoriya carries Bakugo on his back, using one for all to propel them past All Might, securing victory. But after the battle, All Might reveals a chilling truth. His time as the symbol of peace is running out. And soon, the world will need a new #1 hero. The journey continues. As Season 2 ends, Midoriya has grown stronger, but the world is growing darker. Villains are rising, Stain's influence is spreading, and the League of Villains is preparing for something huge. And that's our full recap of My Hero Academia Season 2. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more anime recaps. Until next time, this has been Anime Vault. Welcome to Anime Vault. Today, we're diving into My Hero Academia Season 3, one of the most intense, action-packed, and emotional seasons yet. This is the season where everything changes. The League of Villains launches a full-scale attack. Bakugo is kidnapped. All Might fights his final battle. And Midoriya begins forging his own path to becoming the next symbol of peace. From the brutal summer training camp attack to the high-stakes Camino Ward raid, And finally, the emotional battle between All Might and All for One. Season 3 delivers some of the most unforgettable moments in anime history. So, get ready as we break down every major event in My Hero Academia Season 3. Summer Training Camp, pushing beyond the limit. The season kicks off with Class 1A heading to the mountains for an intense training camp led by the Wild Wild Pussycats. This is their chance to push their quirks beyond their limits and prepare for the Provisional Hero License exam. But things take a deadly turn when the League of Villains attacks. The League of Villains invades, Bakugo's capture. Out of nowhere, the Vanguard Action Squad launches a coordinated ambush on the students. Todoroki, Tokoyami, and Midoriya are pushed to their limits as they face off against dangerous villains like Dabi, Moonfish, and Muscular. And then we get one of the most brutal fights of the entire season, Midoriya versus Muscular. Muscular, a sadistic villain with insane strength, sets his sights on Koda, a young boy Midoriya promised to protect. With no time to think, Midoriya unleashes 100% of One for All, but even that isn't enough. Just as it seems like all hope is lost, Midoriya pushes beyond his limit, screaming through the pain, and delivers the 1,000,000% Delaware-Detroit smash. It's a moment that cements Midoriya's resolve. A true hero never gives up. But while he wins the battle, the war is far from over. Because while the students fight for their lives, the villains succeed in capturing Bakugo. And that sets the stage for the biggest rescue mission yet. The Kamino Ward Raid, the rescue of Bakugo. Determined to save their friend, Midoriya, Todoroki, Kirishima, Momo, and Ida take matters into their own hands. While the pro-heroes launch a full-scale assault on the League of Villains, the students sneak in with a daring, high-risk plan to retrieve Bakugo. And just when it seems impossible, Bakugo makes his move. With a single, powerful leap, he blasts into the air, reaching out to Kirishima, his only real friend. In one of the most emotional moments of the season, Kirishima catches Bakugo's hand, and the two escape together. It looks like the heroes have won. But then, the real nightmare begins. All Might versus All for One, the final battle. Just when the heroes think they have the upper hand, All for One arrives. The most dangerous and powerful villain in history makes his move, facing off against All Might in a battle that will shake the world. The two titans clash in one of the greatest fights in anime history. All Might gives everything he has, pushing past his limits to deliver one final attack, the United States of Smash. With one final earth-shattering punch, All for One is defeated. But the cost is unimaginable. All Might's flames of power finally burn out. He turns to the camera, tears in his eyes, and with the last of his strength, he points to the screen and says, "You're next." A message meant only for Midoriya. The world has lost its symbol of peace. And now, Midoriya must rise. The Provisional Hero License exam, Midoriya's next step. With All Might retired, it's time for Class 1A to prove they have what it takes to be true heroes. The Provisional Hero License exam pushes them like never before. Midoriya realizes he can't keep breaking his body with One for All, so he creates his own unique fighting style, shoot style. By focusing his power into his legs instead of his arms, he finds a way to fight without destroying himself. And after an intense battle, Midoriya earns his hero license. But not everyone passes. Bakugo fails. And this leads to one of the most anticipated fights of the entire series. Midoriya versus Bakugo, the rivalry reignites. Late at night, Bakugo challenges Midoriya to a one-on-one fight. But this isn't just about who's stronger. Bakugo blames himself for All Might's downfall. He's angry, frustrated, lost, and now he needs to know the truth. The fight is brutal. Fists fly, explosions light up the night, and for the first time, Midoriya fights at full strength. In the end, Bakugo wins. But something changes. For the first time, he acknowledges Midoriya's strength, and in a shocking twist, Bakugo learns the truth about One for All. A new era begins, the Big Three and Overhaul's arrival. As Season 3 ends, Class 1A meets the Big Three, UA's top students, including Mirio Togata, the man closest to being the #1 hero. At the same time, a new villain emerges, Overhaul, A ruthless, calculating criminal mastermind, Overhaul has a plan that could shake the hero world to its core. And that sets the stage for Season 4. Final thoughts. A season of change. Season 3 is a turning point. All Might is gone. Midoriya is stepping up. Villains are growing stronger. And the world of heroes will never be the same. With legendary battles, heartbreaking moments, and the start of Midoriya's true journey to becoming the symbol of peace. This season is one of the best in anime history. And that wraps up our full recap of My Hero Academia Season 3. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more anime recaps. Until next time, this has been Anime Vault.